What's up, y'all? It's your girls, KD
and KB,
and you're checking in the Hot Take Hotel.
where the tea is always hot and your bed is always made.
Hope you enjoy your stay.
Hello.
Hey,
How's it going today?
you know what? It's all right.
I feel the same way too.
Yeah,
Like, it's gonna be what it is.
yeah, can't complain.
Guess what I started to watch on TV
What?
recently? The Gilded Age. Have you ever watched it?
Yes, I watched the first season. The second season they lost me. It was whack.
Hear me out. Second season when it came on TV, I felt the same exact way. But 3 weeks ago, I started rewatching it, and it's so good. Like, it ended out really good, and the new season is now. And
Yeah.
fun fact: did you know women built the Brooklyn Bridge?
I didn't know that. But you know
Yes.
what? Also, I
Mhm.
really love a good period piece.
Yes.
Like I actually really live for a little throwback
The
visiting,
costumes, some history
yeah,
to it. I feel like and
drama.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like the older I get and the more the world gets a little bit crazy, the more I do appreciate some of these older shows showing that none of the stuff that's happening today is new
Facts.
and that the only difference is that we have a phone versus back then they had a newspaper maybe or whatever the case may be. I truly see life in a different
You
way.
know what I always think about? How random or like how crazy it is that like back in the day you would have to get snail mail to know about things that was going on in people's lives.
Mhm.
Like I feel like now we have so much access to everybody's life or
Mhm.
like via text or like
Mhm.
social media.
Mhm.
Back in the day, people would have a kid, a baby, and then like you would not know that somebody had a baby until some snail mail made it to you. Sometimes by like horse and buggy.
How about this? Little spoiler. The girl in the first episode is sick, right? She lives in Manhattan. Her family lives in Brooklyn. She's from a predominantly rich black family, but they live in Brooklyn. They live right by the Brooklyn Bridge.
Hmm.
Last season they built the Brooklyn Bridge, so access to the two boroughs is faster, but before they had to go by boat.
Mm.
She's sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, she just have to travel
Mhm.
by boat.
Yeah. So
Okay.
she's sick in New York, right? And now she has to go. She's sick in New York, and the family she's living with, they said, please let her family know in Brooklyn. So it's middle of the night. He had to take a piece of paper. No, there's no phones. A piece of paper and paper their butts to over the Brooklyn Bridge to go to her family. I was like, oh my gosh, she'd be dead by the time he gets there.
Facts.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Facts. Um,
Um, I've been watching a lot of TV this week.
yeah.
Another thing that I watched, I'm really excited. The Gilgo Beach Killer.
You watched
The new one that 50 Cent produced, which
oh.
let me tell you something. The only reason why I watched it because it's been all over my timeline to watch it. And now I live in Long Island, like, and he produced it.
Yeah. What is it
And
on?
baby is on Peacock. Let me
Mm.
tell you something. I don't know what if he really had a hand in this. I'm not defending him because he's from Queens, but like he did a really good job with this.
Ooh.
50 Cent.
Oh.
Yes, he did a really good job.
Okay.
Like, he even got the killer's wife to speak on it, and it is oh
Ooh.
my god. It is
That's a perspective I haven't seen because I've seen there's a couple of like documentaries running around
fresh.
about like that time
Mhm.
like what happened. I haven't seen anything from the wife,
Beautiful.
but because at the end of one of the things that I watched,
Mhm.
they was like living in this like really ran down like shack of a home.
Yes. So they got their point of view from his wife, his kids, who is his real daughter and his stepdaughter.
Hmm.
They also got the perspective from his friends. And a lot of his friends are saying that they don't they a lot of friends are like in between if he did it or not do it. But a big thing they're saying is he was an architect and his house looked crazy.
Yeah.
So they were like, how are you such an architect but you live in a shack? But apparently the house was passed down from his parents. His
Hmm.
parents bought the house in whatever years. Then he bought it when his parents died. He bought it from whoever he bought it from, and then he had the house. So it's like a house that's been passed down.
Hmm.
But apparently, like he has some mental issues or something. That's why the house looked the way it is. But it's very good. It is both heartbreaking, sad, but also just very like insightful to see that his family are instead of such a state of delusion. I don't know if he did it, and I feel like they have a lot of evidence. Oh my god! Wait, real quick, two things. Don't know if he did it, but it's sad to see his family like think he didn't do it. But the cops was following his daughter. Is how they caught him.
Oh.
So the daughter, they had DNA on the girls that were killed, but they
Yeah.
couldn't get his DNA. So they followed the daughter. One day, the daughter got off for work because the daughter worked with the father in the city.
Yeah, and put the pizza in the trash can.
No, her energy drink. She
Oh.
got off. She took the LIRR and took the train to her stop. Was drinking an energy drink on the train, which means somebody's on the train watching her drink the drink. She got off the train, threw it in the garbage. They took it, tested it, and saw the same DNA on the girls.
So now you know what I'm always like curious about?
Mm.
People who be like doing crimes, or like they did a crime way back when,
Mhm,
right? And then
mhm.
your family randomly does an ancestry test.
Yes! I've been watching a lot of those too about, like, you get
Yeah,
caught
you
up.
caught.
Uh-huh. I'd be so tight because first of all, why you want us to know who your family is? I did this back
Facts.
in the day. But second, it goes to show you that crime keeps up with you no
It
matter
does.
what. Like, it
It
is
does.
so crazy, but that's my TV spills for the week, guys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I haven't caught a lot of TV. Only things I've been watching is The Shy.
You watch it still?
Yeah, I love The Shy.
Really? Ah, they
Guilty
lost me after
pleasure.
season 1.
As a girl who really like, usually I don't watch a lot
Mhm.
of like shows. I don't know why The Shy is. It's just been sticking around. Like it's kind of like a love hate relationship. Like some of the stuff I'd be like, all right, but the other pieces of it I really enjoy.
Maybe I'll get back into it. I haven't watched it since season 1, no
Hmm.
lie. And then I briefly watched it a few when Lala got into it, but then it got weird. But now I watch the spoilers faithfully on TikTok, which just tells me the whole show.
Yeah, no, you
And
can't
I'm
watch
just
the
like,
spoilers.
I don't know, I don't know.
Also, to your point about wanting to, you didn't say this, but you told
Mhm.
me that you wanted to get off Instagram. One thing that I have come to like respect and or appreciate is just that like TV don't always got to be fantastic.
No,
Like what you watching doesn't always need to be amazing, or
no.
like what you reading don't always need to be amazing. It's just kind
Mm-mm.
of like
Get the time
it's
to
entertainment, and it's just like to get you through. Like you don't always have to be watching a
mind
cinematic
blown.
production.
Yeah.
Like it
However,
could
I
be
will
fine.
say, hot take, that Kennedy Ryan book is garbage. I'm
I'm
very
not
sorry.
agreeing with that.
I
I
can't get
really
past
enjoyed it.
I cannot get past 30. I cannot get past page 30. I can't do it. It is so I'm still at the white party. I'm still at the white
Oh
party.
yeah.
Like I can't get past it. I've really grown to love reading this last few 2 years, like
Hmm.
love reading. So I really am excited to read something where like I could put the phone on the side and like had read like and really be into it. And whatever reason, I'd read 2 sentences and be like, I gotta pack
It
this
was
up.
it was the beginning of the book was tough, but I feel like once you get past it, it's actually really good. But I think it was kind of like,
I feel like it's also predictable. She's gonna get with the guy.
well, yeah, girl, that ain't no. Now I know you ain't talking about nothing being predictable.
Frida?
Frida,
Frida does not be that predictable. Frida always got a little twist. What? Frida got a little twist
Frida
every
telling the
time.
same
No, she got
stories.
the same twist every time. With the teacher, how it ended up being
She's
like,
telling the same stories
no,
in a
Frida got a
different
twist.
setting.
Little twist every time. I love
Like
my girl
it's mad
Frida.
predictable.
Frida.
Frida is the That's So Raven of books,
No,
and that's
Frida
a
is a lifetime of books. She's
that's
a
a
lifetime of books. But
that
they're so cheesy, but they're good cheesy.
yeah, that's an egg for anybody who's listened to previous episodes.
Okay. You
All
want
right,
to
let's jump in. Checking
check
in. Okay, so today I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a struggle to
It's okay.
like, pull some stories together, but we're gonna do the best we can with what we got. So all of the ones that I'm reading today
Mhm.
are about friendships.
Mm,
So like, yeah, what you would do if this was your friend, or just like, your thoughts about it.
okay.
Okay.
Love that.
So, and I love me a good am I the asshole. So r/am I the asshole.
Yes, you are.
Um, AITAH for ended an 8-year friendship after my cameras recorded her in my home when I was out of town.
Mm, keep going because I feel like as a friend, my friends have can come to my house when I'm not home. My friends usually go to my mom's house when I'm not home either. So like,
But can they be in your house unannounced? Like you don't even know they're there?
I mean, depending what it is. I mean, keep going because I feel
I'm
like
gonna read it.
depending what it is,
I'm gonna
right,
read
right
it.
there.
Okay, so backstory. My friend and I met when I was her hairstylist. Then
Mhm,
we realized that we only lived about 6 blocks apart. Due in part to proximity, we became very close, and she would stop by 3 or more times a week.
mhm.
We enjoyed a lot of the same crafts, and we had mutual love of plants, so we often worked together in my yard or hung out by my fire pit. She had a lot of constant personal relationship crisis, which I always pointed out that she brought on herself, and it became more and more exhausting to spend time with her. Consequently, I slowly tried to limit our time together, although I did care about her and knew that she didn't have many other friends.
Aw, that's sad.
Okay, so I went out of town to visit my daughter at college, but before I left, I installed the new security system that I had received. It didn't really occur to me to mention it to anyone. When I was with my daughter, I told her about it and we got on my phone so I could teach her how to watch the cameras at home also. We have 2 cats and she wanted to be able to see them and interact with them. I was showing her how to use the clips from the motion detector earlier in the day. It was nighttime at the house, so it was dark, in which case the cameras and the lights are on for detection.
Okay.
In the clip from 2 hours earlier, I noticed my friend walking through my house with the flashlight of her phone and she was inspecting every drawer, cupboard, and nook and cranny. My daughter and I were in complete shock.
Okay, this is not what I thought it was going to. This bitch is crazy. Go
I texted her
ahead.
immediately. I asked her if she was at my house today, and she replied that she had been in the backyard picking up sticks, apparently for a fire pit she intended to have at her home that evening. Again, I asked her if she had been in the house. She responded that she had to go into my garage to look for a container. I then told her I had security cameras now. She laughed and asked why I was asking her if she was there because I obviously had seen her already in the backyard. She had no clue that I had also installed them in the house. So I sent her a screenshot and asked her if she knew who that person might be in the house with the flashlight.
Okay, okay. All right.
This is
I'm sorry,
crazy.
this is kinda crazy. Okay.
She waited a few minutes to respond and then said, "Oh yeah, your cat got out."
Okay, alright.
I asked her, "How would my cat have gotten out if nobody was in the house?" And she responded, "I'm so sorry I forgot that I was looking in your house for some gel pens because I needed to do artwork."
Oh, now she just got excuse upon excuse upon
Excuse
excuse.
after
Yes,
excuse
excuse.
after excuse.
Yeah, this is weird.
She just kept laughing it off, and then when she realized that I was really upset, she changed her tune to one of remorse. She said she just needed to find something to do because she was upset with her boyfriend. I told her that I didn't think I could spend time with her anymore because I had spent years trying to teach her about boundaries, and
Mhm.
our friendship was beginning to exhaust me. Am I the asshole?
No, because that's crazy.
Imagine.
Okay, whoa. That's a little bit like, what's that what's,
It's giving stalker.
that's what
It's
I'm
giving
saying,
like
like, it's giving
obsession
yeah, that you because why were you going through her drawers on her cupboards and stuff? Like,
with a flashlight.
yeah, with a flashlight. That's weird.
Like you didn't even cut the lights on because you knew it
'Cause
was
you know if
suspicious.
yeah. I feel like if she had said to her like, "Hey, I was wo" no, that's even weird, but if you text her and say, "Hey, I'm coming to your house," and she said, "No, but you still went," I feel like that would be, like, a boundary, but, like, I would kinda a little bit
Even
be
that's
like
weird.
that is, but I feel like it would be like or let's say she didn't answer fast enough, so you went. That's I understand that, so
Yeah. Okay.
maybe not saying no, but not entering fast enough, I get that. But going there and then keep lying and keep lying, keep lying, keep lying, and I also feel like too, she needs to watch out for her safety because now you don't wanna be friends with her anymore. I feel like she could do something, retaliate because now she has access. She knows how to get to you.
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes I feel like I don't know how old these people are because they didn't say,
Mhm.
but I do feel like some people be so bored
Yeah.
that it's just like, what can I do to get out my house?
Go what go dilly daddle.
Yeah, the girls need to learn how to diddly daddle
Like, come on. But I feel like
or
that's
dilly
weird because you
dally,
did
whatever
it
they be saying. How do they say it? Dilly dally,
dilly
dilly
dally,
dally.
dilly dally.
Yeah,
But she did it because she did it being weird. You knew she wasn't home. That's what I
facts.
think it is. So I think that's why it's weird because it's like she didn't know she had the cameras in the house, which is why she said she was outside. And then she slowly kept showing her piece. So it was I feel like she's done that before already.
Yeah,
Like,
and also, why you lying?
yeah. If it's no shame in it, why lie?
Yeah, like that's something
Yeah.
that would freak me out. Like I would really need to know what was you in my house doing. Like what was you looking for in my drawers and in the nooks and in the she's trying to steal.
Yeah. But
She
maybe
on
she needed
drugs
oh my god, maybe she needed some money. Maybe she was looking like for loose change. And at that point, that's not my problem. Because
or just ask.
I feel like some I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like people would rather do the wrong thing and answer to it later than to just be upfront about things. Not just talking about this, but
Mm,
like just in general. She knew it was wrong, but she
facts.
rather just do it and then if she finds out have the answer to it, then saying, "Hey girl, can I just go to your house to hang out for a little bit? I'm bored at home," type of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's weird. Ooh, what do the comments say?
Well, before we get into the
Oh,
comments,
update?
update slash like it continues.
Ooh.
So I was telling this story to the guy that rents my basement, and he said that she's at my house every time I'm out of town. He was used to seeing her around, so he thought maybe I had asked her to do something there. 2 weeks later, she texted me and needed relationship advice and acted like we were so close it shouldn't be a big deal. I told her that my basement renter said I was super pissed at her at this point. She became very offended and said it was nobody else's business and I shouldn't have told anybody about it. I told her our friendship was definitely over and to not contact me again. So,
Oh,
like,
she
it
wants
was
her
not even
life
like one
of
time.
one
She be
time.
doing it all the time. Like,
I did say that though. It gives that
yeah.
she does this all the time. Oh,
So much so that the man who was like renting
thought
from
it
her
was
basement thought she'd
normal.
just be there. She gotta be stealing.
Oh,
I would assume she's stealing.
but then she would have realized it. But I feel like by now she would have asked like, "What's missing?" type thing.
Well, she's just stealing money that's just like laying around. Cause
That you don't really count
I,
on because oh,
facts.
gee, trust. that's actually
Like just
very true.
ones or
Yeah,
like
ones and
files of
twos.
money you just
Yeah.
got laying around that you just like never know
Oh,
about? She might be on drugs too.
she may be on drugs, or maybe like she really wants her life, and like she's trying to like really scope out the place to come in and kill them.
You always taking it
I
too
know,
damn far.
I know, I know, I know, I know.
And this is
I live in a snapped episode.
and this is why you need to stop watching all them damn documentaries.
Wait,
Because
can I say something real quick? I watched one today. So sad. This woman back in the 90s got with this guy, her landlord. He had two girlfriends. His his girlfriend and then another girlfriend.
mhm.
Girlfriend was pregnant. The girlfriend came and killed her, like killed her in killed her in a car. It happened in New
Yeah.
York. Killed her in a car because she wanted to be with
Wow.
him, and she only got 30 years in prison.
Well, that's a long time.
No, that's not.
Oh,
30 years for murder, for premeditated murder.
30 years is like damn near your whole life.
She was like 20 something. She gonna get out when she's like what, 50.
Yeah,
She
I
still got life
guess.
to live. She
Yeah,
still got life.
that's
But yeah,
true.
that's fine. Okay.
Okay, so the comments say, you know what a good friend doesn't do? A good friend doesn't sneak into your house without your permission to bum
Facts.
around every time you're out of town. Not the asshole.
Facts.
Oh, somebody said, I'm hoping she doesn't steal her identity.
That's a really good one, and I feel like that could happen because she probably could be taking pictures of her stuff so she can make a new passport to kill her and take her life.
She said you should. They say she
Damn,
should get credit protection immediately. Lock down her accounts if she hasn't already. Watch every charge carefully. Honestly, low
that's actually
key,
a really good point.
it's kind of scary how like how easy it is to like take somebody's identity or
Yeah,
like use their things.
yeah,
Like,
it is very scary.
yo,
It's so crazy that it's so scary today, and it was even easier back in the day. Like my mom even told me she had two social security numbers for
ooh.
whatever reason. Yeah, it's really weird. It was really easy to take people's identities back in the day. It's creepy.
Somebody says it would never even cross my mind to do this, let alone ask myself, is this okay? I
Yeah,
really wonder what people are thinking sometimes.
yeah, me too.
Like, what prompted her to say to herself, "OP is going out of town. Perfect time to go through her drawers."
That's mad funny. She's out of time. Let
No,
me go through her drawers today.
I facts because I really be wondering
What people
like
thinking?
what be possessing
Possessing
people to
people.
do the stuff that they be
Mm-mm,
doing.
mm-mm. It all leads down to audacity.
Facts.
Because like people just have the audacity to do God knows what when they want to, how they want it, and where they want to do it. It's really creepy. Mm.
Somebody else said change your locks, change your credit card number, change your account information, lock your credit, assume everything is compromised.
Yeah. Cause
That's
she could
insane.
be. Yeah, she could. But that's sick to think that she had to do that for her friend. That's the part that's like really messed up. It's like this was supposed to be your friend. You have to do all of this for. It's kind of like, damn.
I really hope that it was just kind of like she was bored. But it sounds it's got to be something more malicious.
Yeah.
But it sounds like I just want to hope that like I don't know she was just bored and so she
And
was like
she
you
also
know
said she
what
was coach. She had to coach her before on her previous boundaries. So this is like a thing. Like
yeah
she's always like crossing the boundaries. And maybe like remember I said that maybe you have to look in the mirror like, are you the problem? She is the problem. That sucks. That sucks.
okay next story. Ooh, this might be good.
Hmm.
Am I the asshole for not checking on my friend after she dropped out of my wedding party?
Let's read this through. So I'm
It could
almost
go
in my.
any way.
I can go anywhere at this point. I started looking at wedding shit. I get a little
Oh,
personal now. Go
I
ahead.
don't even want to talk about it. Please, makes me want to throw up. Okay, so it says I was very excited to ask two of my girls who I see the most in town to be in my wedding party. Let's call them Lisa and Shelly.
Okay.
They both said yes, and it was great. But 3 months in, 4 months before the wedding, Lisa said she couldn't afford it and was dropping out. I said it was all right, but I was a bit hurt. I had so far asked him to buy a dress that was around $100 to $120 and had paid for drinks and food at the wedding at the meeting we've had. Lisa and her boyfriend both work and make decent money and pay low rent since I rented them a suite as I manage a building, so I was confused as to why they couldn't afford it.
Okay.
Shelly isn't working much, so I said I could help her pay for the dress if it would help. After Lisa dropped out, I asked Shelly if she was still okay doing it. Her and Lisa are very close also, so I just wanted to be sure. She said that she did and that it was great. That same night on our group chat with the four other girls in the wedding party, Shelly started texting that it was crazy I expected them to pay $100 for a dress in the wedding and dropped out on the chat. I was really hurt and felt confused why two of my closest friends, who I've always been there for, wouldn't step up to be a part of my wedding when I would do anything to be in theirs if they asked. As my wedding isn't very far, I needed to replace one of them soon, and I knew the perfect girl to do so. So I asked her the next day and she said so that she could have time to prepare, etc. She was so happy and said that she would be honored. I had wanted to ask her, but we already had 6 people each, so I was happy that I got a chance to after what had happened. It honestly made the hurt of my two besties dropping out a little bit less. I didn't need to replace Lisa because her boyfriend was in the wedding party too, so they both just dropped.
Mhm.
After about a week of nothing from Shelly, I get a text message saying how awful it is that I didn't check on her to see how she was doing or make sure she didn't want to do it before I replaced her. I'm absolutely floored that she is angry with me about this. She has since sent me messages saying how hurt she is that she doesn't know me anymore, and she started saying bad things about my fiance to people that we both know. I don't even know if there's a friendship to salvage after this.
Mm,
Am I the worst friend ever, or is it normal that I'm thinking maybe she was never my friend?
this is double edge. Okay. She's counting her pockets. And as much as
Mm,
she's counting her pockets, she's saying, well, you make this and you do this, so you should be able to do this. You don't know what's going on in their household.
yeah,
So they could have all of this stuff and be in extreme debt. Who's to know? So I think that. Second, and I'm a big person of this, you can project what you would do for others based on what you want them to do for you.
yeah,
Yes, she will go out of her way to do anything for her friends, but that doesn't mean her friends
facts.
are that doesn't mean they won't do it for her, and that doesn't mean they're not her friends for doing it.
Yeah.
I would be pissed though because she gave her the option of leaving and she said no, she was fine, but she made it a public thing in
Yeah.
that group chat. I
That's the
think
thing that pissed me
that would
off.
piss me
Because
off
also I feel like kind of weddings are kind of already kind of
and
stressful.
emotional.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
emotional. And the fact that you would like bring the drama to the chat
Uh-huh.
to
Mhm.
like now you see it in everybody else's mind of like,
Exactly.
you know what?
Mhm.
$100 is too much for a dress.
Exactly, So that's where I feel like that's where she did
Facts.
it wrong. Like if she would have came to her and said like, "Hey girl, this is a lot of money, X, Y, and Z. I can't afford it." Then I'd be like, "Okay, cool. You could be mad, but she came to you woman to woman, I guess you want to say."
Yeah.
But now you bring it in the chat. It's
Also,
like
I'm not counting anybody's pockets, but $100.
is enough. I mean, but again too, let me say this. I feel like I have a warped way of thinking, right? So for me, $100 may not be a lot of money, but sometimes $100 is something
A lot
somebody
to
only
somebody
has
else.
off a check. They only have $100 to get and go back and forth from work.
That's true.
And I had to learn that like
Yeah.
from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel the same way too. I'm like $100, that's a drop in
Facts.
a bucket, but exactly $100
I'm
sometimes
not
is
even
not.
it's a drop in the bucket. It's just the fact that it's like it's a wedding, and
Mhm.
so like I feel like I've been in weddings, and like baby, $100 is pales in comparison to like what people really be spending on these things.
But I feel like you just made a good point. You've been in weddings. I feel like if you've never been in a wedding and if you've never been to a wedding and you've never been a part of a process of a
Mm,
wedding, when you hear something like that, it kind of comes out to be like, this is so expensive until you really have to be into it. So I feel like it depends on what level they're at.
yeah. The other thing that's pissing me off is the Shelly girl expecting her friend who's getting married to check on her.
That would piss me off too. Check on you?
Especially now that like I know how stressful this shit really is. Like, girl, I ain't got
Checking
nothing to
on
say to you.
nobody. It's no, it's that kind of is funny you said that. That brings me back to my friendship situation when I was pregnant. How like the person who I was friends with wanted me to check on her to see if she was okay. And I was like, she was like, her thing was like, oh, I feel like you wasn't we stopped being friends. And she said to me, I feel like you weren't my friend because you weren't checking on me, you weren't talking to me. And I was like, do you understand that I was pregnant and renovating a house at the same time? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think people don't really
People
understand.
be too self-absorbed.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
girl.
yes. And people are very selfish. I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes it takes a grown person to kind of step out of your own skin and be like, this is what's happening to me, this is how I feel. But let me just look from the other side of how we're looking. I feel like that's about growth and people are not there.
And people
Yeah.
could be doing it's all kinds of
So
that
many
go
things
on in
going in the
people's
world. Yeah,
life.
so many things going in the
Yeah.
world. Like, and you like, I mean, here we go. And now this is selfish me. I do think it live in a world where I think everything revolves around me sometimes. So like I feel like she can very much be upset. I feel like I would if, as a bride, I would be
Sure.
very upset. But I feel like even her axing Reddit shows that she has a sense of like accountability to say like I know I'm pissed off, but like maybe there's another way of looking at this, and I don't feel like her friends did that.
No. Okay, so one of the comments says, honestly, same. Not the asshole. $100 is super reasonable for a bridesmaid's dress. Like, what are you supposed to be checking on her about?
Yeah,
It's your wedding. She dropped out.
is it? Is it? And I feel like it's so
Also, I'm not coming
selfish.
to beg you.
Yeah, I'm not coming
Like
to
if you
beg
say no, if I ask you
because
to
that's
my
what she
wedding,
said.
let me finish
Yeah,
my thought,
sorry.
please.
I get upset now. My bad. Go ahead.
If she says, "Hey, you want to be my wedding?"
Mhm.
and then she's like, "No," why would she then come back and find you like, "Hey, girl, are you sure you don't need my
Mhm,
wedding?"
mhm, mhm. "You sure you don't wanna do this?" It's like, "You already said no."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, no. I don't need I and truly, it's what she said was smart. She said, "The other girl really wanted to be in it, so why do I need to beg you to be in it because 'cause we're friends when this person was dropped to be love to do it?" It's like, "No.
Damn, somebody said withdraw the invitations, which I feel like is aggressive.
That's a little aggressive."
But you know what? Once again, as somebody who just started to look at stuff, baby, wherever you can cut some costs,
Custom cost. You know what?
$50 a pop.
Also, too, though, I'm a person on control. I have a control problem. I would rather cut the invitation than you not show up and I paid for it. Cause I
Mm,
feel like the way this girl is going, she may not show up.
yeah,
So yeah. Yeah, cut it while you can. Cut it while you
yeah.
can. Mm.
Also, somebody said if you're giving Lisa any kind of deal on her rent, stop. She's not your friend, and neither is Shelly. Because she said that she helped him get house. But
I
I feel
think
like
not
that's
that's
bad
business. Yeah,
karma.
now you're making business is
Well, not
business.
well. It's not really business because like if I'm giving you a deal because you're my friend, and then you like are not my friend, should I take the deal on the rent away? I wouldn't do that, but I feel
Mhm.
like it's just bad karma. It's like take your L. People gotta learn. That's the hot take. People need to learn when to take their L. Like
I can't. I
take
have to win.
just take your L and move on.
Mm. That's really hard as somebody, especially a Leo who wants to always be right and stuff. It's very hard to take a L.
Take your
It's
L and
very hard to
move
take a L.
on.
It's very hard.
I'm the asshole for saying my friend named her baby after me.
Dramatic. Go ahead.
Quite literally. I had a friend in my early 20s, Melinda. She was always a little odd, but we remained friends for a while.
Okay.
We were bridesmaids in each other's weddings, and we grew apart over the decades as our lives started to take different turns. We did stay in contact via odd texts and Facebook posts. She attended my virtual baby shower back in 2021.
Mm.
Recently, Melinda had a baby girl, announcing her name was Amelia, but they would refer to her as Mia. I found this odd as my name is Mia. I felt as if she was naming her child after me, and we didn't feel close enough for that. Plus, she didn't even ask. I said something to a mutual friend of ours who told me they also found it odd.
All right, girl.
I didn't say anything at first. Then I saw Melinda with her husband and the baby at another friend's party. She was showing me the baby, and I half joked, "Yeah, my namesake." This is
That's
crazy. Cause
crazy.
like, girl, what?
Yeah.
She gave me an odd look, and I said, "Her name is Mia. I'm Mia." Melinda said her name is Amelia, and
He's
Mia
a
is a nickname, while my full name is just Mia. I said, I understand, but she still had to have named her after me, saying it was odd but cute.
mm.
Melinda got a weird look on her face and said, "No, we named her after my husband's mother." I nodded, and she was clearly annoyed. She asked why I assumed she named the baby after me.
Mhm.
I said it was just a weird coincidence and seemed like something she would do. Melinda said, "You are not important enough to me to name my baby after." I told her that was rude, and she said, "So is trying to imply she's odd because her baby and I have the same name." Our mutual friend said I shouldn't have brought it up at all. Some feel that in spite of, she took it out too far, saying I'm not important enough. Am I the asshole?
You're fucking delusional.
I quite literally would have reacted the
Exact
exact
same
same
way.
way.
She's delusional. I would have been. I would have everything to exact place. What?
How much audacity do you have to just automatically assume that someone named their baby after you?
Huh?
Like that you're important enough to somebody. After saying like, "Oh, we aren't that close, so it feels odd." You still would assume like, "You know what? She named her baby after me."
That is delusion at its finest.
That is like,
That is
girl,
delusional.
be fucking for real.
Be real. And honestly, too, I would be so pissed to say. I would be so pissed as the mother who did the kid. I'd have been like, for you to think it is one thing, but for you to proudly say it out loud,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Facts.
Like, huh?
Facts.
Yeah, nah.
And honestly, I feel like what's her name? Melinda didn't take it far enough because I might would
Yeah,
have cussed her ass out.
I did too. I would have like, listen here.
Like, girl, you not that
Yeah,
girl.
you're not that girl.
You're not her.
Oh, she sounds very polite. That's so corny.
Mad corny. Another thing too is like, and this is I know people. This is kind of like a hot take because people feel certain ways about it,
Mhm.
but I think I kind of got to a place where I feel like names, not that names are just names,
Mhm.
but like. You know, people be like, "Oh, I'm hiding my baby's name because I don't want nobody
Yes.
else to steal it." Or
Yes.
like,
Mhm.
back in the day, we used to have so many people who had the same names. Like
Yeah.
this whole every name has got to be unique, and nobody can
Mhm.
ever use my baby name. It's like it's kind of whack to me because like, your girl, your name is Mia.
There's gonna be 1,000 Mias in the world. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Mia.
Yeah, Mia. I feel like I only feel that if it's some like crazy name that, like, it's, like, so unique, like, if you combine, like, your name and your husband's name together and it was,
Facts.
like, Keontae or some
Yeah.
wild thing, then I'd be like, "Okay, now I could see it." But
Facts.
me 3 letters, MIA?
MIA. And it's a nickname at that. Like, girl, you've really lost the
You
plot.
really it's not even her name, that's just her nickname, that they just yeah, like, come on now.
Facts.
I have a question, though. What would you do, though, if you what would you do if your fiancé and you had a baby
Mhm.
and he named it after someone he used to, date?
I be seeing that a lot. People
Yeah.
always be saying, "Don't let your like don't let your man
Name the
name the
child.
child." That would actually piss me
I
off.
would be heated. I think about that too sometimes. Like, I don't know what I would do. Like, and let's say you didn't even know until like years later when he was like, "Oh yeah, this is X, Y, and Z." And you like, what the?
Yeah,
I'd be
we
pissed.
might have to get a divorce.
Yeah.
Like that would actually piss me off because you clearly like this girl too
Too
much. Like
much.
you care
Yeah,
about her a little
you
too
clearly want to think about
much.
her a lot and that you want to invest
Facts.
in I and
So
that's
much
what
so
I feel
that you
like.
would
Name
name
your
your
child.
child after her. When I'm
Yeah.
right here, like we could
Mhm.
just name look KD Junior. Like, what are we really saying?
Katie Jr. is crazy.
I'm just saying.
I would be pissed too. Let me think about that. Like, I'd be pissed. I'd be so
Yeah,
heated.
I would have to
I'd be
leave.
so heated. But then the argument is too, there's so many names in the world. Like, it's so hard. Like, he could fight and say he didn't do it on purpose. I would still think you did it. I'm with it. You did it on purpose. I'm leaving. But there's so many names in the world. It's so hard to sometimes like tag
Yeah,
it and
it
be
would. I
like,
guess it would depend on the name, but
if it's some crazy name, we gotta fight because I
yeah.
feel like, huh, what we doing here? Mm-mm.
All right. So this one's coming from r slash am I the asshole?
Mm-hmm.
AITA for telling my best friend to leave my house because she showed up with my ex boyfriend.
Out of here. Get out of here.
Wait, but we remember we just said we don't care if somebody date if your friend
Oh, you're
dates your
right. I did say
ex.
that. No, no, no. I did say that. I did say that.
I gotta read the story though, because
Yeah. All
we
right.
might feel
All
a little
right.
differently about it
Mm.
after I read it. So
Okay. Go
let's
ahead.
see. I, 20F, have a child and another one on the way with my ex boyfriend, Jared, 30M. We've been successfully co parenting for the past 2 months. My best friend, 21F, Sarah, has been a big part of my life, and we've been close since high school. I
Okay.
had a casual meetup with my friends last month. Sarah was there too. This was Sarah's first time drinking, and she probably overdid it because she casually mentions that she's been hanging out with Jared, my ex boyfriend, and the father of my kids.
Hanging out.
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
I was immediately taken aback, but tried not to jump to conclusions and asked her for more information. She replied saying that they had just hit it off and that he's a cool guy.
Okay.
I thought it was strange considering our history and that we've only been broken up for 2 months. Not to mention, we co parent our child and have another one on the way. Sarah said it simply wasn't her problem and she's not the one single, pregnant, and broke at 20.
Oh, she fucking him. Okay. All right. Now. Okay. All right. All right. We here.
Wait, no, Sarah took it too far.
Yeah. Take it to more.
Sarah went to the gutter with it.
Yeah.
Okay. This comment hurt coming from my best friend, but I
That's
was
not your best
able to.
friend.
Facts. This comment hurt coming from my best friend, but I was able to keep my composure and ultimately moved on after she apologized. Last Friday, Jared came over to my place to take our daughter for the weekend. He didn't mention, however, that he would be bringing Sarah too.
They're dating after 2 months.
As soon as Jared and Sarah walked through the door, I was disoriented, but I tried not to create tension in front of my daughter. She's just trying to be a good mom.
Aw.
I
Cool
pulled them
cups.
over to casually ask why they were together. Jared and Sarah were denying being anything other than friends and told me that Jared was Sarah's ride home. And Sarah suggested coming over because she wanted to see me, and my ex had to make a stop this way anyway.
Okay, first of all, don't come unannounced in my house without letting me know. That's number one.
Facts.
So like the fact that y'all together is one thing, but also two, you told me you were coming, not what company. So that's another problem. Like let's make it for what it is too.
Yeah.
Like you wildin'. Okay. My bad.
No,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Their behavior was beginning to bother me, and I told them that I would prefer if they did not come to my house together again in the future.
Mhm.
Jared argued back, claiming I was being controlling and he can decide who his friends are. This sounds like some small town drama.
Yeah, it does. And I think because it is a small town drama, that's why they feel this way. Because I feel like
Yes.
we're thinking of it on a big city scale, but if this
This
is
is
like
giving my
West, yeah,
hometown.
yeah, ooh,
Yeah, Sarah
yeah.
made a comment about me that was something along the lines of maybe if you were more fun, he wouldn't need to look elsewhere
Sarah is not your friend
at all.
at all. That is not your friend. She's never been your
I
friend.
be done pop Sarah in the mouth
I don't.
so fast.
Ooh, real
Okay,
quick.
this was the last straw for me. My immediate response was to tell them to leave, quite loudly and harshly. Since they left, I've been replaying the scene in my mind and just feel a mix of anger, betrayal, and sadness. This situation made me feel uncomfortable and as if my best friend didn't even care about me. But maybe I could have handled it better. Am I the asshole?
No, girl, you too calm.
Also, the second thing is too, because I'm thinking like, girl, why didn't you fight this girl?
No-
Like in my mind, I'm thinking like, girl, this girl, you have every
oh, yeah, between
opportunity,
some.
but she pregnant,
Oh,
which
you're
makes it
right.
even worse. Because imagine you just broke up with your man, like you were with a guy, y'all had a kid together, y'all broke up, and you're currently
With
pregnant
his kid again.
with his kid, and now he like basically out on the town with
Yeah, with
your best
my
friend.
best friend. Your best friend.
How do
She
people
wanted
make
your
it?
life.
How do people make it out of situations like this? Like I just feel like I would lose my mind if something like that happened to me.
I'm not that mature. And also too, I'm not that mature, and I feel like I'm way too emotional. This woman is very level-headed.
Honestly,
I am not that level-headed in life. I would have done something,
drastic.
yeah, drastic, automatic. Like drastic where like I'll be pregnant in
I'm in
jail.
jail.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
my kid is with social services or my mother.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hit him with a car.
Yeah. No, seriously. Hit him with a car. I would took a knife out and threatened to poke her
Yeah,
up or something. Cause I'm too emotional. She's very level-headed.
yeah,
First, okay, hold on. Sarah hates her.
absolutely.
Absolutely hates her. And her
Probably
baby,
been hating.
yes. And her baby daddy is stupid and he's letting Sarah manipulate the situation, I think.
Also, the baby daddy 30, which I think is also
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
I feel like he's too old to be in the middle of this
Yeah.
drama with these 21-year-olds.
Yeah. Oh, he have an identity crisis too. He want to be outside.
I think he probably just never even
Yeah.
grew up. Like he one of the people who
Yeah.
like never grew up and they just like stuck.
You know what's crazy about that? He was always like that. And she was young and until she became a mother and like have responsibility, she had to get out of that.
Facts.
And I'm gonna say this, I don't know who this woman is, but I'm proud of her for being able to get out of that regardless of the situation to say like this is not serving me. Cause
Honestly.
she could have stayed with him at least to the
At
baby.
21?
She could have stayed with him. You
Mhm.
still like you know what I mean? You still like there's a sense of it that I'm sure that she got with him thinking that he was older and he was like more mature and
Yeah.
was like better at it. And
Unless
she
he
probably
left her.
oh yeah, unless that too.
But
I'm pretending now. No, I'm gonna say he didn't leave her. You know why? I feel like she'd be a little bit more emotional if he left her.
mm,
I feel like that's like I feel like she
like
has a control.
this her 13th reason.
Yeah,
If
like
like
exactly,
if he left her
exactly.
and then got with, but she said he wouldn't have to look elsewhere. But I think that it might just be in a dig.
Yeah. Ooh.
In
And the
my house.
in my house,
You're saying
picking up
this?
my kids so you could play stepmommy. You want to fight. I just feel like if you come to my house with my ex after 2 months of breaking up,
Facts.
which is still the buffer of that's 8 weeks,
Yeah.
which is still like the sensitive time, and I'm pregnant too, so like there's still like chance of when like you may still come over, you still got to be there for the birth, like we still have to interact and stuff, and you with him, they fucking
Which probably means they was probably fucking beforehand. Because in 2 months,
yeah, you don't just wake up one morning unless it's like Love Is Blind and everything happens so fast.
girl, them
Oh
shows I
my
can't with.
god.
Okay, let's read a couple comments.
Mm.
Ooh. Not the asshole. Sarah seems to be more interested in shoving the blade under your ribs. And Jared is happy enough to go along with it. Jared can play with her on his own time. I think you should drop any delusion that she is your friend.
Facts. That's not your friend.
Facts.
She was never your friend.
Somebody said they had their fun with you today, but in future keep your communication with him at arm's length and focus on the kids as much as possible.
Ooh, that's too mature. Spit on her.
I'm screaming. Honestly, as soon as the baby drop, go get your lit
Spit
back.
back, yeah. Go fuck his brother.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's what. See, and I feel like when they go low, you gotta go lower. Sometimes
Facts.
that's how you gotta get them. If you gonna do that, you gotta fuck his brother or his pops, and then show up to Thanksgiving
Ew,
dinner.
though.
I know it's bad, but you just gotta do what you gotta do to get back.
Girl,
Maybe not the
granddaddy.
depending how the daddy look. If your daddy's cute, you got it back. You gotta figure it out. You gotta get it where it hurt. Or like if he's like in a frat, like fuck his frat brother or something. Yeah. There's levels of
Somebody
getting
else
back.
said, not the asshole. They came to your house to obviously disrespect you under your roof.
Facts.
Honestly, I feel like this was a concerted
Yes.
effort. Like y'all
Yes.
came over
Yes.
here
To play in my
to
face.
play.
Yeah. Like there was no like because I'm sorry to break it. You can't tell me there was not one level headed person that said, this
This is
is not a good idea
inappropriate.
idea. Like I know we're friends, but she already expressed that she felt uncomfortable about it.
Nobody said
Nobody
this
said
ain't
nothing?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
nah.
agree.
Uh-uh.
I think it was intentional. Like y'all intentionally came over
Nah.
here to start drama with somebody who pregnant.
Exactly. The only thing I would say, if I would say, like, a better part of this, if, like, they came over and they weren't picking up the daughter and they were like, "Let's all hang out together. We just wanna show you that we're just cool." Like, something of the sort, I would have been a little bit like, this is weird, but I get it a little bit."
Yeah.
But y'all came over here to flaunt your relationship in my face. Cause what's next? What it is in small towns, they'd be like, "We in a relationship with" that's gonna be next. In a relationship with Sarah. Mm-mm.
Somebody said, "Oh, that's
Mm-mm.
a new stepmommy."
Facts. That's what she wants.
Literally
Maybe she can't have kids, and she's like,
at 21.
you never know.
I mean,
People,
no, I'm
yeah,
just saying, like at 20, I guess yeah, but like 21,
no, be
you
crazy
trying
if
to be
she end up
somebody's
pregnant.
stepmama?
It'd be crazy if she would end up pregnant next. The friend.
Wait, side note,
Mm,
when you were younger,
mm,
I want to do a little poll. When
mm.
you were younger, like what was the progression of your life? Like, how did you think life was going to turn out for you in terms of like age wise?
Hmm. I thought that I would be very successful by like 25, 26. I had unrealistic dreams. I always say this, which sounds so crazy, and I feel like only it sounds ignorant saying it. So I didn't have my dad growing up, right? But I thought it was normal to be a single mother. So I thought I would, yeah, I thought it
Oh,
was normal. And I don't see a bad part in thinking like that. I just think my mother went too hard in
yeah.
certain things. So I necessarily didn't I saw me having children, but I didn't necessarily see a man attached to that.
Mm.
So like that was like my mentality. So I was definitely wanted kids later on in 20s. And then I wanted to move to Paris by like 40, which is still on my agenda. Mhm. Mhm.
Wow, what a life!
Yeah.
I definitely, girl. I thought, okay, girl, by 21, you probably gonna be married. By 23, you probably gonna have your first kid, which is
Really?
so crazy to
To
think
think that,
about.
yeah.
Cause it's like, girl,
You so
me
young.
at 23 would have had
N
no business
have nobody kids.
being nobody's mama.
Shit, at 31, sometimes I had no business being nobody mama. I'd be like,
Baby, I'm
"Wait."
quite literally shaking in my boots every time I think about it. I'm like,
And you be
ooh,
like, This is my kid. I gotta
I could be
feed
somebody's
you?
mama. I don't think so.
Mommy? Don't know." But
Yeah.
no, it's funny it's funny you said that. I feel like it is a mind warp when you are younger because you think when you there's certain ages that mean being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's in, like, every aspect of, like, life and work. You see people older than us, and you're like, "Oh, they are X years old, they have this shit
Yeah.
together and stuff." And then when you get to these ages, like, actually, no, everybody is a pile of crap and just trying to figure it out. So,
Literally.
yeah, it
People,
is.
I'm talking about grown adults in their
Mhm.
40s, 50s, 60s
60s.
are still frailing
Mhm.
about and like
Mhm.
trying to figure life
Mhm.
out, which is so crazy. We should be more honest about it. If we were more honest, people wouldn't feel so much pressure to like be so
Succeed.
perfect or succeed.
Mhm.
Like,
I agree.
because I think at a certain point, like once you cross the like 30 threshold and then you kind of like start to see people and you like, yeah, y'all, nobody knows what the fuck they
Nope,
doing
nope,
for
nope,
real.
nope, nope, nope. And but you know what the problem is too? I feel like instead of being honest about it, people who are older don't come to the younger generation and kind of have a one-on-one convo and be like, I did this wrong, do this. It comes from like, you should do this. But I feel like and so it comes with like more of a chastising conversation versus of someone trying to give you insightful information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's really the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Because people also kind of keep their hands closed, so like you can't really they don't really show what they've been through. So like by the time
yes.
they come to you and say something,
Uh-huh.
it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why would I ever believe or
Mm-hmm.
like listen to you when
Mm-hmm.
you've basically shown me this
Mhm.
like perfect
Mhm.
life?
Mhm. I agree. Because it's funny. A few years ago, so back when like Instagram was first started, you remember Tumblr was still out too? There were a very large group of women that I used to follow, right? And they looked young, but after a few years, I realized. No, I'm saying like they looked young, right?
Hmm.
And I idolized these girls. Like these are like New York it girls, whatever. And I was like, oh, I want them. They got the bags. They got this, and I wanted to be them, right? Then I got older, or maybe a few years later, and I just had shifted my priorities
Yeah.
around. And I saw that these were like 35 year women when I was like 25, who all they had was this stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I think I feel like it would have been a nice opener to see like, hey, like this is all superficial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like these people don't really have it together. Like they're trying to figure it out. Everybody is trying to figure
Yeah.
it
I
out.
think we'll start to see a shift in like people um like influencers who's I feel like people are starting to try to be like more real and it's
Quote
like,
unquote.
yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Because
Quote
even
unquote.
that's
Even
really
as fake. Even at its fake.
even what's
Yeah.
real is fake. Lord
Yeah.
have mercy. But I don't know. We'll
I hope
see.
so. I mean too, like As quiet as it kept, I think there is a sense of delusion that we do look to these people for.
Not me.
No, I look for some delusion.
Hell no.
No.
I quite literally don't trust a soul. Like I'm not. I'm in a place where I'm like, I can't. I don't believe anything anybody's putting out about themselves. I don't,
Okay.
even up to like celebrities. Like nothing about celebrities is even like giving me anything to look to.
I will confidently say this. I look to no celebrity. Once you have like a celebrity tag, I look to no.
Yeah.
I don't put influence celebrities in the same bucket. I look to no celebrity for this, but I do look to a influencer who may not be in the same situation as I am, and I
Hmm.
look to it as like, oh look, look what she's doing. Anything is possible. That kind of
Sure.
concept. I look to that, but I feel like there needs to be in order for you to succeed, you need to be a little delusional to be successful. So that's how I look to it. Like if I gotta get here, let me look at this person because like
Yeah.
they look like they were where I want to be. Let me see what it looks like from that from face value or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. Well,
Last episode.
yep, check out
That was fun.
hot takes.
Huh. What's my hot take for today? I guess. Oh, you know what? My hot take is about friendship.
Ooh.
Okay. I feel like true friendship should not be based on what you could do for them that they're doing back for you. Like this girl said that with the wedding thing,
Mm,
that she feels like I would do all these things for them. Why they won't do it for them? I feel like you have to kind of understand, like, you have to love someone for who they are. And you can't expect yourself from other people. Because, quite frankly, very big of a hot take, women put all this emotion behind like friendship with their friends, and then the guy will do the similar thing. They don't hold them to the same accountability. A girl will stop being friends with a girl so fast because they hurt them so bad.
yeah.
But in the actuality, if a guy do the same thing, they won't leave their man. You know what I mean? So I feel like we need to be
Oh.
able to we need to be able to set our friendship to just for what they are.
Yeah. I think you should give grace to your friends, but I do feel like friendship should be reciprocated. Like
Yes, a
I feel
hundred
like
percent.
if I'm showing up for you, I'm expecting you to show up for me.
Yes, but when I don't show up for you,
It
it
doesn't
should
mean
not.
I'm a bad friend.
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like it shouldn't be like, "Oh, I didn't show you didn't you not the way I'm not going to I think wedding is a very touchy thing, so I won't say that. But it shouldn't be like, "Oh, well, I text you every single day to make sure you was okay.
Yeah.
I got sick, you didn't text me at all." You know what I mean? Like I feel like that is not you don't know what people are going through in their lives. And I personally, I feel like I'm a person who suffers in silence. If I'm going through something, or if I'm like in the motion of doing something, I won't spread it to the world and be like, "Hey, y'all, I'm going through this, so don't. This is what's going on,"
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. So I feel like because of that, you just have to be like, "Okay, cool. Like I love the person for who it is, and when they show up, they show up. If they're not showing up, you can have a convo about it. But like, it doesn't mean that they're not being a friend to you."
Yeah, I would say so. I can kind of agree with that.
Mm,
Um, but speaking of like your girls cutting off their friends quicker than they will cut off a man,
mhm.
I don't know. Something about a friend hurt just hit a little deeper for me.
I agree.
Like when your best friend come against
I
you,
agree.
like,
I agree. I 1,000% agree.
cause I be feeling like sometimes like my friends really truly feel like blood to me. Like they
Yes.
feel like
Mhm.
family, like
Mhm.
real sisters.
Mhm.
And so I think to me it's a little bit different. Cause like if you would stab me in the back, bitch, I can't trust nobody.
I agree with you because I feel like I hold my friend to the same thing, but I feel like
It's
sometimes
grace.
is a grace of it, and I feel like sometimes we will allow women will allow men to just walk all over them, and I will honestly say this is just from me, like hearing of stories. I don't really know too many people who do this, but I
Hmm.
know stories of stuff, and I feel like women will allow men to just walk over them, do them dirty, do certain things, and then like when it comes to their friend is like, "Fuck out of here! I want to fight you." And it's like, "Yeah, sis, but you two STDs in you like you. It's some wild stories. You know what I mean? Like you two STDs and he had a baby on you, and you still get with him. He told you that you ain't shit, but you fighting me
Yeah.
because I didn't make your birthday dinner.
Facts.
It's like where we going this again, this is not personal, I just know stories,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like sometimes we just have to hold we have to have equal accountability for everyone, and I think that's a really big thing, like or even with family too, like we will like X quick to X a friend off, right? But people in your family have been harassing you all your life. You like, oh no, that's my family. It's like don't give excuses. Like if you're gonna, you have to set boundaries for everything in life. You
Mhm.
can't pick and
Mhm.
choose when you want to do it. Like for your peace. Like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
My hot take is kind of based on because we were talking about celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And this is might be a little bit too much of a hot take, but I don't think athletes are smart enough to have opinions on politics. Not all athletes. I'm not saying generally, but I am saying like I hate when people be like, or even celebrities in general. I hate when people be like, "Oh, how do you feel about such and such?" Or like, like expecting celebrities or athletes to be the voice of the people is crazy to me because
Okay.
like no shade, but I went to like a big college where
Mhm.
like sports was like a big
Mhm.
thing. These people
Dumb as
are
a
quite
doorknob.
dumb as a doorknob. They're quite literally being pushed through school
School.
since from being like because my brother's also athletic and like my
Mhm.
mom made it a point to be like, no, we don't play about grades.
Mhm.
But I see so many kids be like pushed through school
Just
to
because
just
they're
like
playing.
because they like playing the game like
Mhm.
my friends in high school would be like, oh, you just gotta show up to class today just cause so you can play in the game, but you ain't gotta do anything. Like it would be people along throughout their lives that
Mhm.
like basically made it easy for them to like get through,
Just because they think it's gonna
not
mean
on smarts, but
something.
just because they are athletic. So I'm not I'm not jacking the idea that athletes are the people who should be speaking for us politically or like when big things going in the world, because
I agree with
these
that.
people are not
Yeah,
qualified.
I agree with
Like
that. But hot
just
take
because somebody famous
don't
don't
mean
mean
they
they got a
just.
good take
Mhm.
or they should be speaking
Mhm.
about what's going
Mhm.
on for the people.
I feel like it's funny you said that because I don't know why I was watching Charles Barkley, but he had a Nike campaign back in the 90s, and it was called I'm not a role model. And it
Mm,
was essentially saying he essentially did it. He partnered with Nike, and Nike was like, I don't know how we feel about this. He's like, now we have to do this because they were looking to him for political advice and like for being like the token black person. And
yeah,
he's like, hey y'all, I dribble a ball. I'm smart, but I don't. I'm not the end all president, end all
yeah.
be all type of thing. And I think that is true too. I feel like
They studying film.
yeah, like
They ain't
they don't know
studying
what's gonna
politics.
yeah. And I feel like their influence is so strong sometimes that
It's too strong.
they do themselves a disservice by even engaging in those conversations because then they say something wrong and then
Yeah,
everybody's like, well, Dingy said this is what happens. You know what I mean? So I do agree with that. I do agree with this.
that's just my take.
Yeah. I like that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Don't follow celebrities. Don't watch TV, watch yourself.
Please,
Yeah.
and don't expect for them to like speak for you.
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do, yes. But I think it's
Yes.
weird when they be like, "Well, how do you feel about what's
Yeah.
going on?"
Or like in an interview or something, we're like, how do you feel about what's happening with this? And you're like,
Yeah,
wait, hold on. Like, this is about me. How did we get
why?
here? Yeah.
Like, why do we care
Yeah.
how they feel about it?
That's very facts. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my hot take.
All right. Well, that was a fun episode. Bye,
Peace
guys.
out.